polished brogue. I would get compliments for looking so presentable. When I lost weight due to eating only one meal a day, people told me how lean and healthy I looked. I developed depression. But I never let people know how down I was feeling. That would have been another burden for my friends to take on. My mind became my biggest enemy. I knew if he admitted he would have been screwed in lockdown if it wasn't he for bagging the part of Eric in sex education, giving him some security. While he admits 4 months out of work is a short time for most jobbing actors, he had struggled to make ends meet without regular work after returning from a touring job in America. Greetings to all viewers. Be so kind as to subscribe to the channel, like and express your opinion in the comments. And now to the news. Nicolas Basilov, Georgian tennis star charged with assaulting ex-wife. Georgian tennis player Nicolas Basilov has been charged with assaulting his former wife. Basilov, 28, is accused by Nekatoro Kashali of attacking her infant son. Basilov, ranked 27th in the world, denies all the allegations, saying that the truth will be proven in court. On Sunday, he was released on a Georgian lari dollar bail by the court in the capital Tbilisi. If guilty, he faces 3 years in jail. A preliminary court hearing has been scheduled for 16 July. I feel your support and love, the tennis player told followers on Facebook, adding that he did not want to make any further comment. During his career, Basilov won 3 ATP titles, but is yet to progress further than the 4th round in any of the 4 majors. His highest singles ranking was 16th in the world in May 2019. Greetings to all viewers. Be so kind as to subscribe to the channel, like and express your opinion in the comments. And now to the news. Niall Horan slams Donald Trump this week, calling protesters thugs after George Floyd death. Niall Horan has hit back at Donald Trump after the US president called protesters who were demonstrating after the death of George Floyd thugs. The former One Direction star was the latest celebrity to speak out after George Floyd died following a police officer kneeling on his neck during his arrest. Video footage of the incident left the world outraged, with many taking to the streets in Minneapolis in protest, some of which turned violent and a police station was set on fire. Donald Trump posted a tweet which read, "These thugs are dishonoring the memory of George Floyd, and I won't let that happen." Just spoke to Governor Tim Walz and told him that the military is with him all the way. Any difficulty and we will assume control, but when the looting starts, the shooting starts. Thank you. Shocked at the president's words, Niall tweeted, "Thug. These people are protesting against the fact that one of your animalistic white policemen kneeled on George's windpipe and forced him to stop breathing and killed him. Thugs. Are you listening to yourself?" He added, "Racism has been rampant for hundreds of years, it is just that in this century people have camera phones to video it. It is absolutely disgusting that you get mistreated because of the color of your skin. You would think that those that are there to protect us would protect." Several other stars have voiced their outrage at the death of George Floyd, including Kylie Jenner, who posted, "Since watching the most devastating and completely heartbreaking video showing the murder of George Floyd earlier this week, I haven't been able to get his face and his words out of my mind. I'll never personally experience the pain and fear that many black people around the country go through every day, but I know nobody should have to live in fear and nobody deserves a death like George Floyd and too many others. Speaking out is long overdue for the rest of us. We're currently dealing with 2 horrific pandemics in our country, and we can't sit back and ignore the fact that racism is one of them. I fear for my daughter and I hope for a better future for her. My heart breaks for George Floyd's family and friends. Don't let his name be forgotten. Keep sharing, keep watching, keep speaking out, because it is the only way we can come together to help bring this much needed change and awareness. Rest in peace, George Floyd. Greetings to all viewers. Be so kind as to subscribe to the channel, like and express your opinion in the comments. And now to the news. Mutant strain of coronavirus that makes it more contagious has already spread in the US. A mutant strain of the coronavirus that makes the deadly bug even more contagious has already spread in the United States. Scientists have said the mutation, which started spreading through Europe in early February, requires an urgent need for an early warning. Researchers at Los Alamos National Lottery Laboratory in New Mexico said that the mutation, dubbed DG, has now become the world-dominating strain. They posted their 33-page report on the mutation to Bioxiv on Thursday. The report was based on analysis of more than coronavirus sequences from around the world. In the research, the scientists warned that vaccines, which are currently being created to fight COVID-19, may not work against this strain. They also noted that the new mutation needs to be considered in future work on treatments and vaccines. The study does not indicate that the mutation is more lethal than the original, which has killed more than Americans. However, if the mutation makes the virus so different from earlier strains, it would leave individuals susceptible to a second infection. The story is worrying, as we see a mutated form of the virus very rapidly emerging, and over the month of March becoming the dominant pandemic form. The Los Angeles Times reported that study leader Better Korber wrote on social media. If the mutation makes the virus so different from earlier strains, it would leave individuals susceptible to a second infection. When viruses with this mutation enter a population, they rapidly begin to take over the local epidemic, thus they are more transmissible. The country currently has at least confirmed cases of the coronavirus. Earlier today, scientists discovered another new coronavirus mutation that suggests the bug might be weakening. It's similar to a change found in the SARS virus in 2003, that marked a changing tide in that outbreak, the expert said. The new mutation could mean the virus is less likely to get past the body's immune system, the team at Arizona State University said. They took 382 samples from coronavirus patients in the state and found that one viral sample was missing a large section of the bug's genetic material. Greetings to all viewers. Be so kind as to subscribe to the channel, like and express your opinion in the comments. And now to the news. Maury Kant, African music star, dies aged 70. The singer Maury Kant, who helped bring African music to world audiences with hits like YKYK, has died in Guinea. Kant died in hospital on Friday in the capital, Conakry, aged 70, his son Bala Kant told the AFF news agency. His death was the result of untreated health problems, he said. He suffered from chronic illnesses and often traveled to France for treatment, but that was no longer possible with the coronavirus, he added. We saw his condition deteriorate rapidly, but I was still surprised because he'd been through much worse times before. Born in a famous family of riot West African musicians and storytellers, he had been nicknamed the Electronic Riot, and was known as a distinguished player of kora, a West African harp. His song YKYK became a huge hit in the late 1980s and was widely remixed. Tributes were paid by fellow musicians on Friday, including Senegalese musician Youssou N'Dour, who said he felt a huge void on learning of Kante's death and called the late singer a babe of African culture. The president of Guinea, Alpha Conde, said on Twitter that African culture was in mourning. He thanked Kant, saying his career had been exceptional. Kant is the latest prominent African musician to pass away, after the recent deaths of Manu Dibango, Tony Allen and Idir. Greetings to all viewers. Be so kind as to subscribe to the channel, like and express your opinion in the comments. And now to the news. Megan Fox looks relaxed as she is spotted for the first time since Brian Austin Green split. Megan Fox has been spotted for the first time since her split from Brian Austin Green. The actress looked relaxed as she ran errands in Los Angeles on Wednesday. She was dressed for the nice weather in a loose black t-shirt, baggy patterned trousers, black furry sandals and black sunglasses. Her long brown hair was loosed around her shoulders and she wore her black handbag across her body, holding her face mask in one hand. It was the first time Meghan had been seen since the news of her split from husband Brian Austin Green. The 90210 star confirmed that they were ending their relationship after 10 years of marriage. However, he is said to be hopeful they can still patch things up between them. A source told People, they split in the past and then got back together. Brian has no plans to file for divorce. He isn't ready to date either. It seems he is hoping that he and Meghan once again can work things out. The insider added, he is giving her space and letting her do her thing. He wants her to be happy. He thinks she is a great mum and is not at all bitter that she is dating. The actor previously opened up about the state of their relationship on his podcast with Brian Austin Green. "I want everyone to hear everything from me, and this is it," he said. "Neither one of us did anything to each other. She has always been honest with me. I've always been honest with her. We've had an amazing relationship. I will always love her. And I know she will always love me, and I know as far as a family what we have built is really cool and really special." The 46-year-old went on, "I was upset about it, but I can't be upset at her, and I wasn't upset at her because she didn't ask to feel that way." Greetings to all viewers. Be so kind as to subscribe to the channel, like and express your opinion in the comments. And now to the news. La Liga can resume behind closed doors from 8 June, the Spanish Prime Minister. La Liga can resume behind closed doors from 8 June, the Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez. The league's president Javier Tebas said he had hoped Spain's top flight would restart on 12 June, although La Liga is yet to confirm a restart date. La Liga players this week started training in groups of no more than 10. Spain has done what it should, and now new horizons are opening for everyone. The time has come to bring back many day-to-day activities, said Sanchez. From 8 June, La Liga will be back. Spanish football has a huge following, but it will not be the only recreational activity that will return. The Spanish second division is also set to resume at the same time as the top flight, with reports in Spain suggesting the derby between Sevilla and Real Betis will be the first La Liga game to take place. "We are very pleased with the decision," said Tebas. "It is the result of the great work of clubs, players, coaches, CZs, National Sports Council, and agents. But we cannot lower our guard. It is important to follow health regulations and ensure the pandemic doesn't come back." Football in Spain was suspended on 12 March because of the coronavirus pandemic. The players in the top 2 divisions were only able to return to individual training in early May after being tested for the virus. 5 players tested positive for the virus across Spain's top 2 divisions and went into isolation prior to the first phase of group training being allowed from 18 May. La Liga teams have 11 games to play this season, with leaders Barcelona 2 points ahead of Real Madrid at the top of the division. Meanwhile, Portugal's Primeira Liga will resume on 3 June, with Portimonense against Gil Vicente and Famalicão hosting leaders Porto. Porto lead rivals Benfica by a point with 10 rounds left. Greetings to all viewers. Be so kind as to subscribe to the channel, like and express your opinion in the comments. And now to the news. Kelly angry Lorraine slams arrogant Dominic Cummings as she asks can the Brits fined for breaking lockdown appeal. Lorraine Kelly slammed arrogant Dominic Cummings as she asked today, can the Brits fined for breaking lockdown appeal? The 60-year-old presenter raged at Prime Minister Boris Johnson's spin doctor after he refused to apologize for allegedly ignoring strict government advice by driving from London to Durham during lockdown. Lorraine slams arrogant Dominic Cummings as she sats a candy, Brits fined for breaking lockdown to appeal. The Tory senior advisor faces calls to resign amid allegations he breached the coronavirus rules by travelling 260 miles from his London home to stay with his family in Durham. He had been self-isolating due to developing virus symptoms, and Boris Johnson said his top aide drove across the country to ensure his 4-year-old son could be properly cared for. But a GM poll conducted today revealed over 80% of viewers reckon Johnson should have fired Cummings. And asked whether she was shocked by the result, Lorraine replied, "Not at all." Lorraine added, "Do they not think that when the spin doctor becomes the story that it's time to go? That's always been the case in the past, but clearly not now. And I can clearly understand why people are so angry." Speaking to IT correspondent Jonathan Swain, she also insisted the aide's lack of apology was dangerous. As images of Cummings' neighbors screaming "shame" outside his home, Lorraine said, "It's like Game of Thrones." She later told viewers, "The astonishing thing is there has been no apology, no humility, just arrogance. I wonder if those Brits who got fined for breaking lockdown, I wonder if they can now appeal." On March 23, Prime Minister Boris Johnson placed the UK in lockdown. Among the rules were that someone could only leave their household for 1 exercise a day to be undertaken alone, essential shopping, to go to work if you're a key worker, or to seek medical attention. Brits were unable to enter another household, reiterated with the rule saying, "You should not be visiting family members who do not live in your home." The only exceptions to visiting another house was to drop off medicine or essential food supplies at their door, without entering the property. And chief among the rules were that anyone with coronavirus symptoms must self-isolate, along with the entire household, which are still in place despite the slight relaxing of measures on May 10. Cummings has been accused of being in breach of the coronavirus rules on 3 separate occasions, by making non-essential travel and leaving home. He and his wife, journalist Mary Wakefield, reportedly stayed at his parents' home in Durham on 2 separate occasions, including when he was self-isolating. It was revealed that he traveled to the family home 264 miles from his London residence, before being seen 30 miles from the Durham property on April 12. According to the Telegraph, Dominic Cummings returned to the capital on Easter Monday and was in Downing Street on April 16. However, witnesses say he was back in Durham on April 19, claiming they spotted the senior advisor and his wife in Howhall Woods. Greetings to all viewers. Be so kind as to subscribe to the channel, like and express your opinion in the comment. And now to the news. Simmons signed on for a few Marvel movies, so we better keep our eyes peeled. Simmons revealed he is signed on to appear in a number of Marvel films, and we better keep an eye out. The Spider-Man star portrayed J. Jonah Jameson in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy and had a cameo at the end of Spider-Man: Far From Home. Appearing on People at Scout Surfing, the actor discussed whether we can expect him in more Spider-Man films. "I don't know if I would use the word expect," he explained. Despite being signed on, the studio is not obligated to use him in other films. "It is great to have the opportunity, as these things evolve, to be one of the holdovers from the previous version," he continued. He also discussed his experience auditioning for the Spider-Man movies and how he had to win over executives. The producers and the people at Sony, they needed to be convinced, because obviously, there were a lot of much more high-profile actors that they had in mind that would help with the box office, he said. "It was very nerve-wracking. It included a scene where the Green Goblin breaks through the windows and picks me up by the throat, lifts me up in the air, and is strangling me." He continued, "I am holding the script pages, reading the scene on the audition, but then at the same time, trying to strangling noise pretending I am being lifted by the neck and choke. Would you be nervous too?" His character Jameson was a Spider-Man hating editor-in-chief of the Daily Bugle newspaper, and we'd all love to see him return. Greetings to all viewers. Be so kind as to subscribe to the channel, like and express your opinion in the comments. And now to the news. Hong Kong police fire tear gas as protesters decry China's security lockdown. Police in Hong Kong have fired tear gas against protesters taking part in the first pro-democracy demonstration since China announced plans to impose a new security law on the territory. Hundreds of demonstrators have been marching through the city center. Earlier, 200 senior politicians from around the world issued a joint statement criticizing China's plan. Signatories called it a comprehensive assault on the city's autonomy, rule of law and fundamental freedoms. China is seeking to pass a law that would ban treason, secession, sedition and subversion in the territory. It has dismissed fears the legislation would harm foreign investors in Hong Kong, an important financial center, and has lashed out at meddling countries. Hong Kong's leader Carrie Lam, who is seen as part of the pro-Beijing political establishment, has pledged full support for the proposed law and said the city's freedoms would remain unchanged. How are the latest demonstrations unfolding? Protesters gathered in the busy Causeway Bay and Wan Chai districts of the city on Sunday, chanting slogans against the government and waving banners. People may be criminalized only for words they say or publish opposing the government, 25-year-old Vincent told AFF news agency, referring to the draft law. Riot police fired tear gas and pepper spray at demonstrators wearing face masks to protect against the spread of coronavirus. It comes after earlier warnings from authorities against unauthorized assembly and a ban on large public gatherings to enforce social distancing. Reports say Sunday's protests followed a similar pattern to many of last year's demonstrations, with clashes breaking out between police and protesters, some of whom threw objects such as umbrellas at officers. More than people have been arrested since pro-democracy protests erupted last year. What is in China's proposed law? The draft decision, as it is known before approval by China's National People's Congress, includes an article that says Hong Kong must improve national security. It adds, when needed, relevant national security organs of the Central People's Government will set